Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk 276. Bloody hell. Hello, Mum. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Or are you here to complain about Willie's wiring jobs? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday show. Like and subscribe and all that jazz if you haven't done that already. If you have any friends that like B&O, let them know. Go to Skinny Play for 10% off. Use the promo code. It's down in the chat, and I think it's in the description. Because it's time for that A9 Christmas collection again. So that's always good. Oh no, you're bloody hell. Sorry. Good thing it's mostly me.
What, muted?
Yeah, for some reason it decided. Actually, you know how these settings we had last week? Yeah, no, they don't apply anymore.
Oh, nice.
I'm still good.
For
So
some reason, my Skype also reset too. I had to reconfigure everything so we can talk. It's so weird. I did it last week.
So, I don't know if your mum heard, but Willie said he hopes your Apple TV works.
Yeah, I hope it does. It should. Anyways.
Christmas collection, get 10% off. Use the promo code. Then my channel name in all caps. Join our Discord. We're also on Twitch if you hate YouTube for some reason. Which I can understand more and more, but then again, Twitch has the same amount of ads, if not more, on it. And there's no real way to stop it, because nobody seems to be making any money on any of this. And
That's right.
Neither are we.
Nope. I like the center picture, I gotta say. That looks very much like it's almost 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very nice artwork. The other ones are more like you put something in like a shopping window or in a store. Very generic commercial.
Well, I mean, there are people with A9s in shops, right?
Yeah.
It works.
Or offices. Office-I.
Is that the proper plural of office?
I know, in Quebec it's office-I. Bureau, fudge.
So there's that. Also, if you want a guaranteed answer to your question and or topic, a super chat will help us keep the lights on, quite literally, because I still think in 200 and something odd shows, I'm in the negative on power cost alone.
Let alone the time spent.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I mean, Europe was worse, because I think just the 2-hour podcast was like €5 in electricity or something, €6.
Yeah, that's insane. Not here. Not here, buddy.
No. It's actually quite a lot better. Like here, the biggest bill is AC, but it's because it's always hot. But yeah, it's actually nice out, and it's weird how quickly you acclimatize, because I'm like cold at like 22 degrees Celsius.
Beosound Emerge updated to 3.3.1.
Okay. Oh no! You're muted again.
Right on.
Oh, I hate OBS sometimes. Thank you, Max. Why don't
Is it good
settings
now?
keep... Yeah, you're good now. Why don't settings keep on bloody applying when you apply them?
I don't know. I'm gonna make too much sense.
Like, it's I literally don't change anything other than starting up and shutting down my computer during the week, right? Like I don't touch this at all, and then
Mm.
like it didn't update, it doesn't do anything, and it's sort of like, nah, let's message you.
Yeah, it's weird. So, anyways, what I was saying that my merge updated to 3.2 or 3.3.1. Let me just confirm that. And the interface on the app has changed completely now. So my settings, like the three dots on the top right corner, have disappeared. Yeah, 3.3.1, 48 in brackets. That's what I am at. And I think it's going to be changing everybody's experience, because it's just started happening, I think, this week that I noticed it when we were installing some stuff. So I don't know how annoyed everybody else is around this, the silent updates, but it's just getting a little too tiring because it's
So,
always a new.
so what changed besides that?
Well, it's all there, but it's just like, let me know, right? Because then you like, where is the settings? And like, oh, you have to scroll down now and look for settings.
Oh, that thing,
Uh,
you know where you left it? Yeah, that's no longer there. It almost sounds like OBS with these microphone settings.
yeah. So, uh, see, like the emerge is
Hmm.
completely different looking now, and the settings are there. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Okay.
So it's no longer the three dots at the top right corner that it used to be. So that's changed. Also, there's no more sub menu to like go and enter or modify your favorites. You
Yeah.
have to press and hold. If I'm gonna let me press and hold, and then it populates the sub menu, and then you can edit them.
Wow.
It's very, very counterintuitive. You can also do the playlists and flow, right? But it's not the same on the theater. It's basically the same experience as it used to be, with those three dashes, right? So you can't hold on something and edit this. I'm gonna try it anyways. So if I press and hold, it turns on. So let's just shut it down. So it's completely different from two products on the same Mozart platform. That's my point.
That is bizarre. But is your theater up to the same software update?
It is the latest I can have on even looking through the product health center that I'm available to see. Maybe there is something newer that it's coming, but I don't know. I'll tell you in a second. Software I'm on, bro. A boot. I am on 3.3, 3.2.3.2, I guess, or 2 in a bracket.
So close enough, you would think.
Yeah, that one is 3.3.1. And I'm not in the beta program, and I'm not going into the beta program, because then it's just something works and something doesn't, and it's just like, what the heck. So I'm not even into that. But I just don't understand why is there not a same unified interface for everything?
Yeah, because you get used to doing something in a certain way.
Yeah, well, if you change it on all the products, not just like, okay, that works on like it used to, and this works like, oh, well, you have to figure that out first of all.
Yeah, because I take it doesn't tell you how to get into that submenu anymore.
No, there was no like, I found this out. What the heck was I installing? I don't remember. I think it was an emerge, not installing, or playing with it at some. I know at some client's place. I don't remember where, man. It's just a blur as far as the week is concerned. But yeah, it was like, how do you bloody? Oh no, it was on the A5. It was on
Oh,
the
okay.
A5, where it was the same thing. I'm like, how do you save the freaking, or how do you overwrite this, right? So I press and hold. All of a sudden, poof, menu pops up from the bottom. Like, okay, well, that would have been nice to know. At least, like, when you first time open it, it should just show you, like, press and hold on my favorite button to modify it. So everybody that sees all 40 or 39 people now know this. in the world.
Okay, we're gonna have to poll this.
Poll all day long. Let's get some more likes. Mom, did you like our video yet? God's sakes. So, yeah, I just I don't understand. I don't know how many of you guys in the chat, I guess, before as poll would come, you guys see that interface or randomly happen. Because for me this morning, I opened the app. I don't even know what possessed me to open the app, and I see the little red dot by the the little guy up top. So I'm like, okay, go to settings. I'm like, bathroom. I go to the emerge, and it just says please restart the product to apply the software. So I rebooted it, and boom, it just went to 3.3.1, and then the app changed. When it reloaded the app, because it crashed. So you open it up, and it has a completely different look now. Well, not completely, but the interface has changed. So for some it's better, for some it's bad. Here's another one that is very weird. On Friday, I went to install a contour.
Mm-hmm.
I put it together, 48, not a big deal, right? Put it all together, very nice, on the floor stand, cool. Plug it in, update the software. HDMI-A appears in the list of Beo Remote 1, which is essentially the input on the stage, the pass-through. I cannot delete it. It doesn't show up in the list of the Beo Remote 1 when you go to edit the list or edit sources. It does, or not in the Beo Remote 1 list, but if you go to sources and you hide the particular ones, the HDMI 2 does, or HDMI-A doesn't appear there. HDMI 1, 3, and 4 does from the display.
Well, I guess it's technically active, right? But
I've never seen it on any stage, bro. And they've sold at this point, I wouldn't say hundreds, but over 160 of them.
I want to see where it goes in the poll. The poll's in the chat. Please vote. It's fully anonymous and whatnot. But I don't know. I'm a long time B&O app user since, I don't know, BeoLit 12 days, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that was so many before then. I think it was like 7 of them, for God's sakes.
And back then it was absolutely horrific.
Yes.
And it got a lot better. And up to, 3 months ago, I had very little complaints. I mean, it was more like placement of things. And it was mostly things that they probably don't see people caring about, like sound info. Like, why isn't that more on the front page for the theater? Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, we have Atmos. You kind of, first of all, want to see what's going on now, right? Just for shits and giggles. And is it playing correctly? Am I hearing it correctly? Blah, blah, blah. Because, I mean, Atmos was a big step forward. And for some reason, they decided, actually, the way it's been for the last 5-ish years, 6 years, Beosound 2 Mark 1 days up to now, where the 3 dots for settings and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
like the only other app that was really introduced, post Bang & Olufsen app was the BeoLab 90s app.
Yeah.
So the BeoLab, that B&O app goes even further. It precedes that. So it's been for at least 8 years, more or less the same, which I don't mind. Like there were some, like when you had a whole bunch of rooms joined and every volume was shown on that circle. So then it looked like a rainbow of and you can turn it all back down to mute and back up to bring it all the same. So I like the interface now, but I think it's the communication that pisses me off that there is lack.
Well, I mean, these are some major changes. I think it's a bad idea to do it so
silently.
No, so in steps, right? Like where, if you, something you've been able to do for years, as in with the stage. I mean, because that's
Hmm.
what, 2017, 2018, something like that, maybe 2019.
Hmm.
Anyway, the stage has been out for years, but you've been able to hide everything. And now, because they decided to change a bunch of stuff, you no longer can, apparently. Or if you can, they don't tell you how to the point where you don't know, even as an
Well, but
installer with access to
the
the
weird thing is that it doesn't even show up in the service tool as a like the only sources that show up in the service tool are directly from the stage itself. It does not pull the sources that you have per se from the TV.
yeah.
So those only show up in the Bio Remote Sources app, right? But the weird thing is with that stage that I was doing, I would delete or hide all the non-essential stuff, right? Like live TV and all that shit. I just pull it away. I uninstalled freaking everything other than what she wanted to keep and use, and downloaded Crave on top. That was it. And for some reason, I cannot get like as soon as I delete, hide the media, blah blah. As soon as I go back to the sources or like the settings page, and I go back to sources, the media player, uh, the live TV, and there's one more I cannot remember what the heck it was. Comes on, uh, art gallery,
Yeah. The
and
thing
when
you
you
use
reboot,
most, obviously.
yeah, and when you, when you reboot the stage, they all repopulate back like you never even changed anything into the list. Everything comes back,
Okay, I'm not updating my stage, I guess.
but it's the only one that's done it. I've went to the store, looked at ours. I'm like, yeah, hide sources fucking works, and we have 4 on display.
But are they on older software still?
No, everything's on the same software because I go in like a freaking software Nazi. I update everything. Like if we're gonna suffer, we're gonna be the first one to suffer. So I know what the hell's going on.
I mean, I'm not against change per se. That's not it at all. It's just that stuff was there stuff was done in a certain way for a reason for years, right? And you get used to it. And fine, I can
Yes.
change with that, but give me some guidance, especially on those my buttons. Like,
No, that's bullshit that they don't have, like mention anything. Which, in my opinion, they also I think they've taken down because I don't remember if I could do it. Let me just see. I think I can open it still on the old one. If I could on the my buttons also change the atmosphere, or does that only apply to the theater as a preset option? I'm going to double check that to be honest right now.
oh, okay,
So an atmosphere, then you can select the preset or listening position. Sorry,
yeah,
and you can select the volume loudness as default, and also what sound preset you want: movie, music, TV, speech,
oh,
or
okay.
night listening. And like that's in the my button. So when you press it once, it freaking like it always goes to that position, that volume, that source, that sound preset.
You know, when you set up new products, right?
Yes.
You get that little tutorial thing. When the app changes this drastically, shouldn't the same thing almost happen? But just for the app, not for the product.
I agree.
Because that would fix so many things. It would just give you little hints here and there how to do basic things. Because I bet you're going to get a call pretty soon by somebody not figuring this out, right? Because you never held down a button like that before.
Well, no, and like
If
I
nothing
understand.
else, back in the day, that used to save whatever was going on now. And if you didn't want to change your my button, you would never do that for that
And
long.
it does create a problem because the way we present it in the store, or it's presented to the person and client in the store, it's easier for them to do it through the app than just like trying to hold the button on the emerge. And you know, they're so close together sometimes that like, am I doing the 1 or 2? Fuck, you know, it just beeped. Oh shoot, no, that's not the right one.
What you do is
So,
you get a Q-tip, you make it wet,
oh
you
god,
hold
just
it.
put it in. So
By the way, if you're in North America, did you know Q-tips are not meant for to go into your ear?
yeah, I know.
They're meant to clean your keyboard.
Yeah, I got the anti-static ones for that. I don't put those in my ears.
Not even joking, because it's illegal,
I know.
because it's a medical handling of a product, because you insert it. Therefore, Q-tips can't be sold for your cleaning your ears.
But you still get it in a pharmacy in the freaking.
Yeah, but if you look on the box, it's meant for cleaning your keyboard and or little spills. You never see ears because you're supposed to be a licensed nurse to insert it into your ear. It's so weird.
It just says cotton swabs.
Yeah, I guess I bought the fancier one that were like $2.
But yours is like a cigarette pack with the warning, don't put this in your ear.
No, it has no warning. It just says this product is, and you see like a keyboard, and you see little crevices.
No, this one has like.
Yeah, see, it's not
no ears, no ears.
because it's for external use only.
Yeah,
mine has
make
pictures
like
of like
B&O
keyboards
edition
and
Q-tips with the like a Q-tip on a laser of a 9000. And
mine has the pictures of I think like a crevice in an oven or something and a keyboard on it and for like little spills.
Whatever you shop for those.
Walmart.
Yeah, these are these are not from Walmart. I don't Anyways,
total side note, but maybe the app. I mean, the look of it is not that bad. I actually don't mind how it visually looks at the moment. I still wish they had a night mode.
I give them credit for the night mode should be there, and I like the BeoLink interface now.
If nothing else, I wish there was a night mode for the startup. Because the startup of the app, or at least on my phone, and I mean it's an iPhone 11, it's not that old, but the startup of the B&O app is one of the slower apps I have. So it sits on that bright white page with just B&O, right? And at night, that's kind of like, ugh. So you start it and you just hold it down.
Yeah, but then it still goes to a bright screen when a homepage, right? Everything's bright. The problem also that presents itself now with the bright, like the night mode and daytime mode, that they would have to go back also and recrop all the icons, because the icons, some that have the see-through, like the Explorer per se with the carabiner ring on the back of it, it's still a white background. So if they really want to have pay attention to the detail and make it right, they should pay some intern to go and delete all that shit from the icons. And they should honestly, like, come on, how long has been Contour in the market? There's only one option to set, which is silver frame with a gray melange grill. There is no wood. There is no other color option. All the other color options, which there is not even all the color options that B&O offers, are in the app for the stage.
No.
Which is a little disappointing. Like, I think that, if you guys are doing all these silent updates, maybe somebody should silently review all the color option possibilities that you guys do sell and have them available, because I don't think that B&O actually realizes that, but it is disappointing to people. It's not something like, oh God, my grandmother died, but it's the fact that, like, I wish I had, the option of put my speaker the way it was. Like, you can't have BeoLab 28 with oak grills in the app, because if you choose the anthracite BeoLab 28, it only shows it in the app with the gray melange grills.
Yeah,
it's a $24,000 speaker, or $20,000. I don't know how much it costs, but I'm not even gonna get into what I think of it.
I think it's actually the same for the aluminium 50s. You can't have it with an aluminium grill.
Yeah, it's silly, and it's just a bunch of flipping options in the rendering, and I'm sure the app has capability of doing that.
Most phones surely have enough storage.
I'm certain of it. If not, delete a couple of your TikTok videos or whatever you store, and just you'll have room. Shit.
Get rid of your cookies, because the one place you don't clean the cookies is your phone.
Man, like nowadays, I'm sure the jar fills up pretty quick because everything wants your cookies or put the cookies in or whatever they're doing with the cookies. I don't know. I'm tired of the allowing cookies everywhere. But
Yeah.
so there's
I
that, and
mean,
also
with
on
regards to
Friday,
oh yeah, go for it.
which was B&O's 97th birthday
Congratulations, but
or 98th, 97, I think it is, isn't it? They're pulling. No, they're 98, 97. Okay.
Old.
They're old. They're the
Essentially,
longest standing AV company, that's for damn sure.
as old as my grandma.
I had a service call for BeoLab 28. They lost parity to one another. Obviously, the wife put her fingers on and like rebooted, reset everything, and it kind of came back on. But the weird thing was that it would come back online, but it would never show up in the app as speaker is available. But you go to the speaker and you press on the My button, and it turns on the default preloaded radio stations, which is
I've had that before when I had mine.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's super strange.
And I just am like, fuck, I could not,
I have a feeling it's probably because there's a cable between them, right?
it's disconnected.
No. I mean between the two speakers.
Yeah, I disconnected it too.
And it still works. Or just one in that case.
No, it's just I could not get them to both work. And then I go to the finally after I don't know, I think like third reset on the primary. I get in and the software is one up from the secondary, which is exactly the point that I was making a few podcasts ago. Why don't you guys pump the software into the secondary first, let it reboot itself, and then let the primary update? And when that reboots, it finds the speaker or its peer with the same software version online. It's just basically like having a power outage, right? Where they both come back online and they just agree on, yeah, let's do what we did before we went out. And it just, man, like at the end, I ended up pushing the service version, the 3.3.1 into each speaker, which for some reason I can't push into my Emerge. It doesn't show up as the latest software. So there are complete differences between different speakers and different software as far as Mozart platform software capabilities. Or is Mozart being programmed completely different for each product in a way that all the software versions are just bound to that particular program? It's or a software for a product. It's not like a global bound update for everything. Like if you update the stage, the theater, I mean, not the stage you can, but if you update the theater and the Emerge and the balance and the A5, like you would expect that they all have the same performance fixes and issues, right?
It's probably categorized as in the Emerge, Balance, A5 are more or less in the category.
Like audio and video products?
Yeah, and there's like speaker products because a 28 again is quite different than a theater because it has sort of the balance
a video
bit,
product,
but it also needs to work correctly with the power link part, right?
Fair enough. Yeah, there's more and more input. Yeah.
So no, I remember that where, especially after updates, you would lose stereo parity, and it like the local control would still work on 28s. Weirdly,
well, because they're both online, but they just don't recognize each other's software. Therefore, they're individual now.
Yeah,
but they're on the network, so they'll play the radio or whatever you have preset in them from the app before that.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of strange. Also, I mean, there is for sure a difference in Mozart platform revisions.
Well, I'm certain of it.
As in, because the A5 has a higher spec Bluetooth than the Emerge even has, and or balance. I don't know how that interacts, but surely it changes something.
Definitely does. I just don't, like they say, fixed, like on fixed issue with product rebooting. Hasn't that been mentioned like 4 or 5 updates ago, more or less? Like in early 2s? We're on mid 3s
yeah, we're
now,
not there
almost.
Yet.
Or late 3s, I guess. So yeah, I just
I think on the Discord, Mr. Wiener was saying that even sending over the product logs rebooted the rebooting, as in it crashed.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that they fall on the deaf ears, but I'm kind of discouraged about it. I'd rather mention it here because I know it's gonna get heard, and I'm sure that some people have those same issues that I have, because there's no way I'm the only one. That doesn't work for me as an excuse anymore. So
No. Then
it
again, I won't be able to test it for a while because the only Mozart product I have is a TOT.
fuck, man, it's gonna be so out of date. Your picture's gonna be black and white. So
The doctor says after update my theater rebooted 3 times.
shit, you see. I honestly, knock on wood, I had no problems with this unit whatsoever. The only problem that I have is one or two of the remote chassis. But like I said, I brought these from, I don't know, like I've had my Avant on it. Like it's an old remote chassis. Like the buttons are more clickier and shit. So that's the one that's, kind of having a Bluetooth head farts.
Even so, that
Or brain
nowadays
farts.
anyway is an easy 300, 400 euro save on a new TV, right? Because, I mean, I don't know if it was different back in the day, but with older TVs, I don't remember actually ordering a remote separately. I mean, maybe the dealer did, but it was always sort of like you buy a TV, you get a remote, right?
They started that nonsense with the Beo 5 when they've separated that now it's an option to purchase a remote control. That's when it started.
Well, I knew it was an option for extra, but not like if you buy a TV, like
Yeah, but then they went back to that old, you buy a TV, you get a remote control. They did it back with the Avant first generation when it came out. It came out with the Beo Remote 1 with the goofy ass list on top, right? And that was the first TV after I don't know how many years since the Beo 5.6 came out that they started providing a remote control. And then they discovered the fact, well, fuck, let's color these. Or the first was the bespoke or the engraved edition, right, where you can engrave client's name based on the serial number of the remote control, so blah blah. So that was the first, and then as the history would have it, then they came up with a bunch of different colors. And by the time the Eclipse came out, the remote control was no longer an option; it was an add-on.
which is
Because
like
you
the
could
only
technically control it with the not Beo, with the LG remote, right? You could control the TV, which is terrible. That's terrible. Those hands should be chopped off.
I mean, I
But
would at least think that the first order remote is free with the purchase. Like, maybe price it into it, whatever, but like,
hide it from my eyes, but just
yeah.
make me believe that because it makes sense. Like for the theater, why is it not a remote control packed inside? You have a microphone packed and then put in a remote control.
I mean, imagine going to
99% of those theaters are going to be hooked up to the screen.
imagine
Let's
if you
face
go
the
to
fact.
like a Best Buy or whatever, and you buy an LG, and LG says, "Well, it's actually $75 extra for the remote." It's like, what?
What do you mean?
Well, most likely you already had one of our TVs before, right? And that remote still works. It's like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, but that doesn't. That
It's
kind
true,
of
it works.
VNO
Like my
TVs, yeah.
C9 remote still works with my C2.
Of course it would, but that's a little dickish.
Yeah, it's a bit.
So I get it, but in my opinion, like anthracite theater should have an anthracite Beo remote one, silver one should have a silver remote, golden one should have a golden remote. We have all these colors available, so that should be something that. Also, again, what's the point of serializing the product like the remote control with that the chassis is tied to a goldstone chassis of the aluminium when you can't really see that in your app? I would love to see the difference between the finishes of the remotes that are paired into each product, because then I would at least know which one it is.
Yeah, that would
Or
be way too easy, obviously, especially if you, like me, have every remote you have is a different color.
or do it like it's done on the ASC platforms. If you have 2 or 3 remotes paired in the stage, it says BeoRemote1 underscore its serial number. So then you can go to the advanced settings and pull up the serial number of the remote control, and you can see which one you need to remove or whatever if you're doing something with it, if it misbehaves. If it
Yeah.
misbehaves, just reboot the remote.
With regards to coming back to what I wanted to say earlier, with the enormous changes in the app, maybe it's me, and I understand that you go in a sort of staggered release and you do new things, but I would almost assume that that creates a very weird sales pitch, right? As in the shop where you have to show stuff and things are so wonky, and if you come back, like a lot of these purchases are quite big and you may not decide on the first day, and you may come back a week later and it could be completely different if you say, like, how does this work on your phone?
Yeah, you showed me the other way, the different way, right? Last time. So what the heck?
I mean, and I get we're sort of the beta testers even when we're not, but it's especially for new customers, especially for the very high net worth individuals we're chasing.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure that. Why don't you build this out in the background or have it on beta only for a long time? Because I'm happy to beta test the app. I'm less happy to beta test the software in the theater.
Well, the problem with the software in the theater is that it really sucks the fun out of just watching a movie and stuff, because it just, if it crashes or starts misbehaving, it usually does it during something that it's a climatic scene in the movie per se.
Yeah. I mean, I take it's fixed now, but I remember when on beta, when I was listening to like B&O radio or whatever, and you went to AirPlay something into the theater, it just went quiet and did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no way of getting out of it on your phone or on the theater other than pull the plug.
Oh, that I remember that with the moment when it had the runaway volume wheel with my 90s. Fuck, that was not fun at all.
I guess we're in the minority. Most people like the changes.
I said I actually voted for I like the changes. I don't like the sneakiness of not having them introduced properly.
Well, we can always pull more. I want to
I
see
would
where
poll it like
the
that. But yeah, I think that in a way, if they introduced it properly, it would be more exciting to use them, because it's like, oh yeah, okay, cool, that's a new feature. Okay, now that makes sense, instead of like, oh fuck, that's how you do it. After 10 minutes of trying to select the my button and trigger in sources that you don't want. So, it's obviously easier with the BeoRemote1 because you can just hold the thing and toot toot and it goes. So, I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all, man, but it's disappointing. It's disappointing, the whole new thing of everything. New app is coming next year anyway, KCBR says. I don't know. I haven't heard anything, but again, I haven't really heard of any changes that they were going to make, and they have made them. So I'm not going to, confirm or deny that there's something coming out. But if that app is coming out, is it maybe a BeoLiving intelligence, which would be nice if that was integrated into the main app, where you could start tying into stuff from your house and automating it together with B&O.
I have a feeling that they're not gonna do all this if they're just gonna make a fully new app next year again. That would make almost no sense, because then we really are just being busy for being busy's sake, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my earlier idea, like when you have a new product and it shows you the tips and tricks walkthrough, if there's a big app change and
Mm-hmm.
stuff changes. would you like that? Because for most products, it's sort of, you could sort of skip it because a lot of things are self-explanatory. Like the tips and tricks of like, these 4 things are my buttons. It's like, yeah, I know.
Mhm. Yeah, but there are some things I actually wonder because I haven't really had a chance with playing with the gateway recently.
But
Or
but
Living
the
Intelligence.
sneaky updates, like you're changing the my buttons in the app, that would have been nice to have a tip, as a tip or
Mhm.
trick or whatever, because it's never been done that way.
No, it's never been done that way, and it's really annoying that it's. I understand that more or less it's the same logic that you would apply to when you're doing it with the Bio Remote One, because you're supposed to just hold the my button until it goes beep beep, right? That's what it remembers.
Yeah, and it saves everything the way it is as presented. It saves the
Yes.
channel volume, the sound profile, use listening position, etc.
Mhm. But in the app, it doesn't let you do that in the Mozart platform on Emerge, but it can let you do that on Theater, right?
Yeah,
Because then you can modify the atmosphere. The other, which is you can use it as a standby button, which some people requested. Which, to me, I guess it makes sense, but not many people that I had come across use that hands-on interface touch panel deal on the Theater. Which again brings me the point that we should introduce a cleaning mode to it, or just completely disable the
yeah,
buttons if it's
permanent off,
possible.
whatever.
I don't care for let the BNO logo shine. The rest I don't give a shit about because I never really use it. The only time that I do have to use it is when one of my remotes stopped pairing, and then I just like, oh fudge, you know what? I'm already here. I just touch it. But
Well,
then you always leave a fingerprint.
yeah. So far, the idea of having that new tips and tricks thing is met with no nos. So
Yeah. So, well, I think
so
people would it would be silly to disagree that no, I don't want anything to know. Like every app
well,
gives you a stat of what they had done to update.
25% of people sort of go like, yeah, but we'll figure it out anyway, so it's not really needed.
Hmm.
And I mean, I guess to a certain degree that's true, but surely there must be other people around that aren't like you and I, that don't fiddle with it every waking minute that you're not working or doing something else.
Well, for me, I'm fortunate enough that I do it for a living, right? So I have to fiddle with it no matter what, because I usually am happy not to fiddle with it when I get home,
Yeah.
because the first thing I do, and now the reason why I do it this way, because recent rash of shipments that we've had with the Be Remote ones, they were 2 firmware versions behind, and each of those updates is 25 to 30 minutes per remote. And once the fucking percentage meter comes up, you are done. You have to wait.
Yeah.
You have to wait. So, and that usually happens right after you plug it in, right? You turn it on, okay, sweet, we got volume or whatever, we get sound, it works, right? And you turn it off, and as soon as you turn it off, it goes and cross checks. Oh yeah, you're out of date, and it starts pumping into it. So now what I've started doing is, like, if we're doing any BNO
I
what
wonder how many
of
versions
whatever
I am
kind,
out to date on this one, on the anthracite one.
if you go to advanced settings, uh,
Yeah, the batteries aren't even in there yet.
if you go to advanced settings, or not even advanced, if you see the advanced and below it is a version,
Mm.
if you don't see version, you're 2 firmware versions behind.
We'll see.
So you'd be BLE would be 0.1.25 instead of 3.9, and DB would be dot I think one something, I don't remember, and then there's another one, and then 325 is what you're supposed to have. So I usually just unbox and start putting together a theater while it's already plugged in, have the person download the app, and then I take the phone, tell them to go to the product support and donate access control or give access control, and then I take over the phone so they can do their thing. I don't have to chase them around and wait, because usually what happens is, as soon as you start explaining something, the phone rings on them, right? and it just interrupts everybody and whatever. So I just have that till I set it up. I'm like, don't even open it. I actually swiped it closed. Don't open the thing till I'll ask you to do that once we're finished, and then plug in the theater, pair in the bloody remote right away, or whatever it is that we need to do, and then just turn on the radio, play it for 15-20 seconds, shut it down with the long press, all standby, and then the remote goes to an update within a minute afterwards. And by the time you put the wings on and all that jazz, it's about 70%. Then you measure it out, put it on the wall. By then, it's all good. So, how many people are using reduced blue light from settings in the LG panels? By the way, just curious. Do you guys like that cold blue monitor look, or do you like the old-fashioned, more or less BeoVisionish look of the reduced blue light on the LG panel?
I go a bit, but it depends. In the daytime, I don't care.
See, now the catch is with the new AI picture adjustments, right? If you select that, then on the G3 panels, there's like a freaking, it's not a course, but more or less like an evaluation, I would say, where you go through 8 different sets of 6 pictures and you pick 2 out of each 6 set. And by the end, then it just knows, like, based on what you had picked, what your perception of colors and focus is. And based off of that, it adjusts it. And then that whole reduced blue light thing completely is grayed out. You cannot use it anymore.
That's a nice upgrade.
I think so too. And it does make a difference from, because I usually try to watch the same thing on each theater type of thing, right? When you're setting them up. And, I have a couple of movies on a USB stick that I plug in now and just hear them out.
I take it you can rerun that picker at any time on the newer panels.
Yeah. You just go to AI and you can just modify or just start over, whatever the heck it is, as an option.
Did it come back to the C2 G2 panels too, or?
Not that I've seen so far, but we haven't really done many C2s, man. People that buy theaters, we just go, like, you need to go with the G3s or G2s. Well, G2s are no longer available, but G3s are the most solid ones. They have their last rattle or least rattle. And even people that are putting them on the wall without theaters on, or, just with the stages and whatnot, they tend to go with the G3s, because they sit nice and flush to the wall, right? It's very thin compared to, it looks thinner than Samsung. But Samsung, my biggest gripe is that fucking cable, man. It's that optical power cable, right? That comes in. It's just one thing that comes in. It's the thickness of a 5 mil power link, right? But if you bend it too much, the optical breaks, and that's it. So it's the least favorite of mine, especially for pre-wiring, because then it's not you who could have broken it. It could have been the drywall company. It could have been whoever, right? Because they just don't give a shit. And
maybe somebody moved it to paint or whatever.
And boom, that's it. You moved it the wrong way. It's cracked, and you come in there, no signal. Fuck. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that technology. I'd rather have. But what my gripe is with LG, though, is you bastards just make that fucking plug removable. Why does it have to be connected to the TV? Like, it just makes no sense.
I have a feeling they want to do that partially to, how would you say, to keep the
country code. It doesn't make any sense.
Essentially, yes.
Dual voltage.
Essentially, no, but I think it's more a European thing, because you can buy the price in the same panel between Europe, as you pay no taxes, just shipping. It can fluctuate immensely.
Then charge the difference in the power cords for Europe, for all I care. That's it. Power cord, $700, bitch. There you go. But I don't like that it especially makes it awful. Not awful, but it kind of is unnecessary procedure when you're handling a TV and then you're trying to fish the bloody power cord without fucking up the theater, because it's now 2 prongs that are naked. I usually have that little plastic condom that I put it on, or I leave it in the bag as it still is, just peel it off the back of the panel and slide it through the window in the VESA mount and then put it on.
I just use these Wago
So
clips. Cut off the
yeah,
end.
but that's something that, you know, you
I
can't
mean,
really put that in the back of the TV, man. It doesn't look professional.
no, but well, I mean, I guess you can tape it or put it somewhere. I mean, you can put a sticky thing on the back, but what I like about it is that you can get them in 2, 3, or 4, so you can combine products. As in, like, if you have an Apple TV in the back, you cut that end off, you put it in the same clip, and then you have one power lead out.
So they're bridged?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
So, meaning you have them in all different kinds. So, like the way I had it in my Harmony, right? The end of the C9 was cut off, and then I had a figure 8 power cable from the Harmony itself cut it off, and then you just bridge them together like that, and you have one cable power out to the wall.
I might just do, well, I don't really need to do that with this, but
I mean, I did the same here, like, because my LG is European, obviously, and it is multi-power.
yeah, it's the same. I think it's just it knows.
I mean, I just cut off the end, put an American plug on, or actually, I put an extension on, because again, it doesn't fucking reach. It never reaches where it needs to reach. It's always too short.
Well, no, and then you get the 3-meter plug with the theater, which is too long, usually way
Exactly,
too long.
yes.
Bloody hell, man! And then you have 1.5 meters that comes out of the theater. I mean, the VESA mount. If you put it on a floor stand or whatever, it's very little, right? So you have to run something into the back of the VESA.
Yeah, but these Wago clips, they go from you can put anything in there from, I think, 24 gauge to 12 gauge wire, and it connects it all, and it's just clip, and you can
See, but
unclip
that's
it.
all solid strand, though, right? That's
No,
not
no,
braided.
no. It can be solid, it can be stranded. It doesn't matter.
I'd probably solder the strand in the cable before, so it doesn't have the hair and shit pubes come out, and then all of a sudden shorts.
I mean, it's completely closed at the other end, right? Like, so as long as the sheathing is in the plastic, you're never going to touch any bare metal. These things are a fucking lifesaver. Yes, it becomes a bit wider if you have a 3 or a 4, but in what I did in my Harmonies, I just put them back to back, and if you and just tape them once they're done, and I mean, you can unclip everything.
Yeah, that might be something that I'm gonna have to look into, because it's just getting tiring, to be honest. With so I would need what? Because it just seems like it's just you would need 2 3s basically, right?
If you want to connect 2 things together, yeah, but you can also get a 4 if you want to connect 3 things together.
Okay, I see how that works.
So you can have your panel, your theater, and your Apple TV on to the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, these things,
No,
they
it's
use
just
them in
I've
Germany.
seen them in electrical, but that's more like a very much European solution than I've seen here.
They use them in Germany all over the place. I mean, it creates a little more resistance, but I think even the 221s, which are considered expensive compared to a wire nut, because they're like 25 cents a piece or something.
So what?
But you can I think put 16 amps through them easily. Like
There's never gonna be 16 amps going through a flipping little theater and a
I mean, like in
panel.
Germany,
Like,
they
no
put these
way.
in the wall and stuff, where that like you branch off to other power outlets. So
no, I've seen them in my apartment when I moved in. Like, I've seen those Waco clips. I just didn't really think of them being used in an install application per se than anything else. But
I mean, the Home
Amazon.
The Home Depot has their own knockoff solution, which is also fine. I think it's rated up to 14 amps or something.
What are they called again?
WAGO.
Wago, yeah, okay.
And I mean, you just open it and it's a spring loaded on four sides, sort of spring in the metal, and it crimps down on it. Like anything you put in there is like you could tug on it. It's not coming out unless the wire breaks.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them here I see on Amazon, yeah. Okay. A pack of 10 is $22, so they're not cheap.
No, but I mean, again, compared to what?
A pack of 50 is $30. That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, and if you have positive, negative ground, you're going to use 3 per install immediately, so they go faster than you think.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think like, ooh, I'm going to do 3 things are better by 10, you probably have a job within the next year or so that you might as well buy a 20 or 50 pack.
No, if I'm gonna buy them, I'm gonna buy a pack of 50. I saw 50 for $31. So I have to cart, yeah. So let's go shop some more. Yeah, we'll do it later. I'll keep that tab open.
But I think,
But
yeah,
yeah, that's not a
they
bad
go
idea.
from
Because you can also shorten those damn cables.
Yeah, they go from 28 gauge to 14 gauge. So they go from really bloody tiny to quite thick.
Yeah. And this is what.
I mean, I've been using these for a while now, and they're excellent. And it's also just nice if you need to change out I don't know, if you need to extend something, right? Like, it's quite easy to do with these things.
Well, and it's to code, or it's legal at least, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
For some reason, electricians here still like to use wire nuts because it's somehow more safe. But I think personally there is way more margin for error in a wire nut than there is in one of these things, because you can visually see if you did it correctly.
Yeah, dude, and they're rated to 20 amps, man. That's not bad at all. Splicing connector, 3 conductor.
So if you ever have a wiring mess, anybody,
that's a solution.
They handle what, 290s on a Wago 3 easily.
Oh, for sure.
So it's like 20 amps. I mean, that's in most places in America, that's almost 2 full circuits.
Mm-hmm. The poll results are back.
So with a massive app change, essentially 3/4 of people say, yes, please, show the tips and tricks thing. Mm-hmm. If something massively changed. Which I think so too.
There should be some sort of a, like if you allow for the notifications, then you should get some notifications, or
either
you should be getting some.
Or make the what you call it, the note thing enormous and
more detailed. Yeah, the release notes should be much more detailed than they are, because they're not detailed at all at this point.
Not just stability and bug fixes and or new features.
It's like the most generic answer to any question that you might have.
Like, give me an explanation of what changed and how to use it, please.
Yeah.
Especially often used things.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's life is full of surprises still with the B&O app. I guess when you start using it, you never know what you get as far as when the product updates. So we'll see. I wonder if they're going to upgrade the stage to Mozart, or they're going to leave it the way it is and discontinue it soon, because it doesn't. I don't know. It sells, but it doesn't really sell much. Like theater, really. Like for us, theater just owns.
Yeah, but you need it for contours and stuff.
Yeah, you do need it for contours, but we don't really sell that many contours. People are not willing to spend that much money for a 2-channel TV, really.
No, I understand, but I also think there's especially in the very high net worth individual people, right? There is a benefit to a more beautiful, aesthetically pleasing thing in the bedroom. And I think one of the main issues when the current CEO came in is like, where the hell is a smaller TV?
Yeah, there isn't really any.
Yeah.
48 is the smallest now.
Like I am fully overkill in the surround sound, but like, do I need it in a bedroom? Like in that sense, the V1 was kind of crazy, but it wasn't necessarily a bedroom TV, although you could use it as one because it was small enough.
Hmm.
Especially now, because back then it was quite a decent size still.
Yeah.
Because when it launched, like 55 was big. Like, and now 55 is essentially the minimum.
Hmm. Yeah, it's funny how the perception of TV sizes have changed.
I mean, I still
But
remember when 46 inches was enormous.
yeah,
Because we went from a
my first TV was
32
32
inch to
inch.
46. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, my first
So,
TV was that I bought was Sharp Aquos 32 inch, and then I went to BV9, 50-inch panel, 250 pounds. Oh God, that was not fun. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the now the aluminum stage is back ordered for a while, so there's not even an option to sell it because I think that they kind of huddled or not huddled, hoarded the stock for the the Black Friday sale, right?
mm-hmm.
There's what 25% off, up to 25% off on things that I got an email. Like the Emerge is now from 900 to 650 or $700.
So it starts in 11 hours. Oh, I need to pull that. Uh, who's going to buy themselves or a loved one a B&O gift?
I don't even know what to buy myself, to be honest with you. I guess the only gift I'm gonna buy myself is I'm gonna go full ridiculous and I'm gonna buy myself the two, which I already ordered anyways. I'm buying two BioLab receiver ones, and then I'm gonna dig up my BioLab fours from the storage and put them in. And if I feel very, very, very enthusiastic, I might dig up the lab ones instead and put the lab ones as fronts. Your lab ones, Mikey, because mine are deeper. Oh boy, I think lab ones would be an overkill here a little bit.
Lab one. They work exactly for that place because they lack bass.
No, I know. I have a BioLab 11 as well that I'm gonna connect at some point here. I like to get it done. Steve has a competition,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
I already bought myself a B&O gift, but it's I'll
What
get
did
to
you get?
Steve in a mo. Uh, Enormous frustration. Uh, because I bought this actually a bit ago. I bought a floor stand for the theater.
Oh, beautiful.
Uh, and mostly because I don't want to have to like strengthen my walls here with rattling and American walls and that sort of thing,
Hmm.
because it's a pain in the ass, right?
Hmm.
Uh, so it arrived into the country 6 weeks ago. It then got stuck at customs for about a week.
Okay.
Because obviously, since it comes from the Netherlands, right? Like there may be like tons of cocaine or ecstasy or whatever in it, because that's what you do in the Netherlands. You just do drugs.
Fentanyl. You would
No,
say
no, no, no. You
fentanyl.
do the actual, the good kind, the stuff
Okay.
that doesn't kill you instantly. uh, so then, to check that, it's the customs agency said we need to scan the container it's in. So they requisited the container, but they said since it's we have to check it and we're at capacity, that
Mhm.
means you have to pay for storage.
Oh, of course he would. So
So
did it get
So I got a bill for storage of my things so customs could check it. Which is like,
Okay, that's
what the,
stupid.
what the hell? Turns out that took a month because they were that backed up with scanning things.
Is the storage for a day?
No, the storage was for the whole month. So, I mean, it wasn't pretty. It was like $300 or something to store it, which was insane. So it's out of there now. So then the shipping company says, like, actually, we can only start shipping this to you once this is paid, right? They said this not last Thursday, but the Thursday before. So I say, okay, so pay it immediately. They receive it that evening. So on Friday, they say, okay, we'll look into getting it to you, potentially last Saturday, maybe Monday. So like, okay, that's fine. Because I can't do Tuesday, because Tuesday I'm gone. Like, okay, fine. So Monday comes around, and they said, shit, the people didn't pick it up because there was a national holiday on Friday. Which is like, so,
but it's Monday.
Yeah, so why didn't you pick it up on Monday? It's like, yeah, because we're observing the Friday holiday on Monday. Right, okay. And so they said, sorry about that. We promise you we'll have it to you on Wednesday. So like, okay, fine, whatever. So Tuesday comes around and they say, actually, we don't do pickups on Tuesday. So we cannot get it to you on Wednesday either. Oh, okay. Weird. So you're going to pick it up on Wednesday then and give it to us on Thursday.
Oh my
God.
Yeah.
So then we're on Wednesday. And on Wednesday said, shit, they missed it again for pickup.
So you never gotten it yet?
I'm not there yet. So on Wednesday they said they never picked it up. They didn't get to it. And also, if they didn't pick it up by the 14th, which was last Wednesday, there's another fee for storing it with customs, because customs doesn't store shit for free, even though they want it there. Right?
They're holding it. Yeah, that's so dumb.
So they said they didn't manage it. We'll get it to you by Friday. Thursday comes around and they said, actually, we can't do Friday either. We'll get to you by Monday. Because we have to pick it up on Friday, because we don't pick up things on Thursday, so we cannot do Friday. So like,
fuck's sakes.
Okay, fine, Monday it is, right? So on Friday, they tell us, actually, we can't do Monday either. Because we pick it up, but we don't make the schedule for delivery until Monday. Which is like,
killing me now.
So what the actual fuck, people? So tomorrow they're going to make the schedule for something that should have been delivered last week.
Oh, so you didn't get it yet?
No. But also, Thursday is a national holiday, because, well, maybe they're observing the Thursday on Friday or Wednesday. They don't know yet. So it may be next week.
Oh my god. I just hope it doesn't get fucked up or comes fucked up.
I hope so too, but it's to the point.
It's packed pretty well, but it's still the cardboard's cardboard, man.
It's to the point where my dealer actually is like on the phone to the shipping company he sent it with, because they apparently on this side outsourced it to people that then outsource it. Because
God.
The shipping company that handles it on this side normally has a contract with a delivery truck that didn't have the capacity, so they had to find somebody else. Which to me sounds like they had to Google, like, who else can we use for this? But the shipping company responsible for it now says the trucker is responsible for the timing of delivery, which is like, so what are you doing? Just
collecting
getting paid?
Money.
This is also the first package that I've ever gotten that have required 20 emails of communication for just getting it.
Oh my god.
It's been an absolute shit show. But obviously,
I just hope it comes in one piece. That's all I'm hoping.
This is holding me up with everything, because everything ties back to the theater. So, I mean, the TV is up, the wires are pulled and all that, but like, what am I? I'm not gonna temporarily put holes in my wall to hang the theater.
No, that makes no sense.
So I've had another week of LG AI sound, and it's fucking terrible.
LGAI. Oh god.
It's
I would have just set up a table stand from that comes with the theater out of the box and just sit it on a fucking milk crate and then listen to the AI sound from the LG screen. I swear to God,
yeah, it's.
it's
Sometimes I'm
painful, bro.
tempted to just airplay it and have an M3 do the sound or something, or take a headphone jack into an M3. Also, gee, the difference in volume between literally volume 10 and 15 is insane. It's so much louder to the point where like it goes to 90, right? But you don't notice this when B&O is attached to an LG panel, but like 20 on an LG is to the point where like these speakers are going to pop out their bloody chassis.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm glad that the only time that I hear that is that fast talking lady at the beginning, the voice assistants,
Yeah.
and then I shut it down and that's it. And then every now and then, before the theater's either powered up or whatever, or the app is installed, or we pull in the HDMI or plug in the HDMI cable for the ARC, is that in the G3 panels, this new video that comes up with like this drone flight over some sort of a luscious jungle, whatever. The beautiful world of LG. Nice colors, by the way. So that's basically it. But I don't have the dishonor to listen to LG AI
Yeah.
sound.
It's so frustrating. And I don't know, maybe it's the whole COVID thing that happened here in this country, but like it used to be so much better. Like you could overnight things all the time, right? Like, and that wasn't weird, but now apparently it's impossible. Like,
Happy
just
birthday, back.
it's it's so frustrating. Everything takes so long. Like this was supposed to be here last Monday. I was supposed to have a normal B&O TV experience because
Not
everything's
yet.
paid for, right? It's just the last person is sort of like, well, whatever. I can do it when I feel like.
Yeah, we'll get to you when we can.
No, when we want to, which is worse. Because it obviously came to Fort Lauderdale, which isn't around the corner. So I have a feeling, since Thursday is Thanksgiving, that they kind of don't want to do a route that long unless they have enough packages on that route. So maybe
Probably.
they'll just wait until they get more packages, right? Because fuck it, it's not our problem.
No, and it's heavy, so they hate it.
Yeah,
So
it's bloody awful.
it's awful.
Not Steve. Steve is great. Steve has a giveaway.
Yeah, a competition.
So go watch his video on how to enter. And essentially send him pictures.
Yeah. Now I would give away the giveaway. You gave away the giveaway by telling.
Yeah, but I mean, he needs to know where stuff needs to be sent, right? If you win,
Yeah.
what are the parameters? I forget now. Is the parameter just the most upvotes, or I forget how we got to the winner? But anyway, that's in the video. I did actually watch it, so good luck, everybody. But
I did too. I'm not gonna comment, so people have to watch it, because if I say it, it's like spoiling the good end.
But there's some gorgeous pictures in here.
B&O's a gorgeous product, man. People put them in nice homes, and it looks sweet. And
I'm gonna be totally neutral and upvote everything.
yeah, that's like 2 points down, one for each speaker for the cable management. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
you can judge, but since I'm just showing it off.
But it looks beautiful. I still want that. What was her name? Mia Ando.
Yeah.
Those were the most beautiful speakers when she made that artwork with them too. Like that was fucking epic. I don't know how many they
Probably
made.
also the most beautifully collector's items that are fucking impossible to purchase if somebody even wants to sell them.
Yeah, no, I would buy those with extra freaking amplifier chassis so they outlive me. That's what I would do. So yeah, that's Anders's little man
No,
cave. No,
no, this is somebody else.
I
Fleming.
like that. Fuck yeah, nice.
I mean, I thought Anders as well initially,
Right? Yeah, because it's very nicely the same kind of. He stole his lighting idea, I guess. Or
but
borrowed.
Anders is a bit more Nordic. Like he wouldn't have the power brick right here.
What's the price of a Beosound bollard? It really depends, I think, because there's two different versions of it, and there's an amplifier that comes with it, the core, and I honestly can't comment because I haven't seen the price list on them, but
I also
it's
think it
gonna
depends
float.
on the aluminium you want on it, whether it's the round or the
Yeah,
square or.
that's right, and the finish too. So yeah, I honestly, it's a very custom line item that you would need to ask your dealer. To be honest with you, I can't even comment how much they cost.
I mean, there's not even a full steady price on the Celestial because it depends on what cover you go with. And
Yes,
do you want a BioAmp 2 or a BioAmp 16? Or what are you tying to it? Do you want it with a core or
or
you're ready?
multiple cores.
Yeah,
If you want zones control, which yeah, that's nice. Bit grubby, but nice.
that's what Q-tips are for.
Yeah, you can't reach that with the Q-tips. That's a toothbrush. That's a or a B&O tweeter brush. Yeah, that's a nice setup for the monitors. I like that. I have the Lab 3s going on. Sweet.
Full on white
I
theme.
think this were the in a long term uh, retrospect or perspective per se. I think that the Beolab 3s in white were the best purchase you could have made because the black ones go sticky as hell, and so do the gray ones. Actually, blue and the red ones would also be a great purchase because if you do get rid of that lacquer, you essentially have yourself a polished Beolab 3 because it's a polished aluminium that is lacquered with a transparent lacquer. So it's pretty cool. This is sweet.
This
Very
is
nicely done with cables. I don't know what's sitting on the stand, but something. Hopefully, it's not another center channel. Fudge.
it's a counterweight to stop the bass from jiggling things.
Almost looks like an MCL a converter or a passive kit, but I don't know what you would run that in there for.
Well, there is a lab 2 right next to it, pointing at it.
It doesn't need a passive kit. It looks cool. I like it.
Mr. Roast.
Nice.
This is what, like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if we
His
want
first
to
B&O
like
purchase.
rub it in.
Yeah.
I kind of miss this whole crown deal.
Hmm.
Like it's something to be proud of, right? Or did the Queen of Denmark drop B&O? I don't think so, right? But like, yes, we've gone all super modern and sleek, but it is kind of like that still means something to have like essentially a royal seal.
Hmm.
And I kind of
Well,
miss that.
they can't do a royal seal now with the software they're running, bro. I think the software is their seal of doom if they don't improve it on. That's my
They'll
opinion.
just say coded by the Queen of Denmark.
Fudge. Like, yeah.
Oh, this is so 80s with Wham. For people that like lived in the 80s and were like fully at least 16 or older, like, did you guys really not know that George Michael was gay? Like, wasn't that like super obvious?
I guess. I just liked his music back then.
Oh, this is not a comment on the music. He makes fantastic music. He was an excellent singer.
See, but I never followed that MTV gossip and shit. Like, I really couldn't care less about who was what and how and
No, but
who's
when you
home and
have
stuff,
like that
right?
much hairspray, that sort of thing all the time, right? It's sort of like,
That's a white
oh,
guy
okay,
dancing
I
in the
get it.
80s.
Like you do you, but
Yeah. The Norman said Mr. Red and Black BNO text. I like that too back in the days. I wish that there was an option for the app to run it like in a retro mode of BNO, like the Beo player viewpoint or
get the old
themed.
fonts from the 70s.
No, not the old font from the 70s. I still go with the Beo font, but just like have that Beo player app interface would be cool as like a retro. Yeah, there's some cool pictures, man. People have a lot of even old gear collected. Actually, I on Wednesday or Thursday. Oh my God, it's snowing so hard. On Thursday, I fixed the Beosound 2. It's interesting that Beosound 2 chassis, like the main amplifier board, comes with the embedded, more or less embedded. It's pre-installed ASC board. So you just swap the whole module.
I feel this is a more real life presentation of how you live with headphones. It's like cables and stuff everywhere. And
Yes. Yeah, I completely
like
agree.
life is not an advertising photo, right?
No, man, if you want the B&O font, just email me. I'll email you the font. I don't know if it's available somewhere, but I use it on all my computers.
Wait,
I
the
install
mic
it everywhere.
is...
Oh, this is the headphone room, right?
Yeah.
This would be cool. I think if I were to submit a picture to Steve, I don't think any B&O product would be there. I think it would be a picture that I'm the most proud of, which is the picture of me leaning on against the piano in the main B&O room where all the products,
Not with Jeff.
have been. Not even with Jeff. I just like that picture to me was just it was a moment of self pride and very much of an accomplishment to make it so far that I would have never thought I would have ever stood in that spot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, that meant to this day it means a lot. It's this picture I think I have as a profile picture on my Instagram, or not Instagram, LinkedIn. But yeah, that's the picture that that room by itself, the piano and every product they had to wheel over there. I'm sure they were very happy with it because there's a picture of a BeoVision 103
Maybe that's
4103
why
in
they
that room.
invented all these skates and things. It's
Because
like we have to wheel the
bloody
shit
hell, we
over.
gotta wheel it to this fucking room again. Call it. So yeah, that I think was very much beowilly@gmail.com, Noah. But that's definitely one of my personal favorite photos because over the years, like I had so much B&O gear, not to brag about it, but when you work with it and work around it, you just end up with living with more or less every product that they come across, other than like I don't care for the headphones, but it's it was quite an achievement to be present in that room and also do the tour in the Factory 5 and so on. Those photos I cherish the most, I guess. But
Beosound lava too.
nice. I like the A9.
I like the little SpongeBob. These egg chairs, you don't see them often anymore, but they're still kind of futuristic.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like them, but I would never buy them because it encapsulates you too much. But I do like the idea of having one. I wouldn't know what to do with it, but
well, it's kind of sad when you sit in it. You like if you can't really watch a movie because you block off all the rear channels from yourself. Like you're in a cocoon.
Get one of these
like that's a good
mechanisms that you can get like your iPad and with your portals and just sit there by yourself and like
get those $3,000 Apple VR goggles and whatever. Sit there with your fake eyes on the outside of it, like Dave Gannon in a Depeche Mode. What's the barrel of a gun? He's got eye painted on his eyelids. It looks so fucking creepy. Leo. But yeah, that's funny. Like that's the pictures, right? Like look at that.
I forgot to like this one. Sorry.
That's a beautiful picture.
With a 1000.
Yeah.
No, I can still tell this is Leo. I mean, just imagine a massive beard underneath it, and it's still Leo.
Put a Lego beard on him now. Yeah, that's some nice pics, man. And you know what? Like this is exactly like even Steve when you said, your picture was, your favorite photo is with your mom, and in the background is a BeoVox speaker, right? And it's just like I also like that I've dipped my nephew in the B&O bath before, he even realized it really because, grandma's house is fully B&O. Everything in there I have left my mom with is it's old school mastering, but it works. And then I gave my sister a BeoVision 8 for her birthday, which now it's his TV in a little playroom. So
Nice.
he's got the feel for the Beo 4.
God, once you get that, it's hard to shake it.
That's it, man. That kid is done for life now. I'm certain of it. I'm thinking I'm gonna screw up my sister and send her a level for Christmas. Here you
It's not
go.
so bad when you don't have to pay for it.
Well, I pay for it. I already paid for it a while back. But yeah, holy Christ, it's snowing hardcore, but it's like sunny. I don't know what's going on outside.
This is very Iraq chic. Like
Mm-hmm.
an
It's an
AR-15
AK-47. It's an AR. Oh, it's an AR.
in gold.
It's a lamp. Awesome. I like the long barrel variant. Oh God, that's funny. But yeah, Avant still is to this day my favorite TV. I wish it just didn't have that much issues with the video engine on it as they did because they did invent it. Yeah, there's the picture of Steve that
Yeah,
I was
it's a
referring
picture
to.
within a picture within a picture. Like there's two
There
Steves
we
on the
go.
picture.
There you go.
Yeah.
Years and years apart. But yeah, once you get dipped into that BNO vat, it's over, man. It's just
Steve, did you lose some weight?
but yeah, that's it's BNOs for life, man. Once you start getting into it, I know it's hard, it's
This
hard to shake off.
this is much more the true B&O hoarding experience.
Yeah,
Like I
that's
need all of it.
he's got a Lab 19 sitting on top of Lab 2. How fucking overkill is that?
Well, when your other system that
That's
isn't tied in, you can use.
that's massive overkill. And he's got 18s or 8000s in the back, 8000s on the side, BV8 as a side panel, I guess, to preview the movies that you're gonna watch with your Lab 9s and two twos. And I don't understand the 12s being too close together. I think these are just disconnected because they're just on the floor stands, which I think that's the only speaker in the entire B&O's portfolio that should have never had an option for a floor stand.
No,
They look dweeby as hell when they're on a floor stand. Plus, with that goofy metal plate in the back, that was a mistake. I don't think they
BV8.
should have. BV8 was a beautiful TV, and that TV almost to this day still doesn't make sense to me how great it sounds. Yes, it's limited to HDMI 1.1 or whatever the heck it is, but it is
Who
it's
cares?
still an
So's the
awesome.
screen.
Hmm.
So who cares? Like if you match the picture with the screen quality, you still get an excellent picture.
Yeah,
Like a 720p source on a 720p panel is still good.
and if you're consuming regular, network broadcasts, it's more than enough, man. Like those TVs still correct that crap better than the new digital processing that does whatever it does. In my eyes, it.
Most HD TV is just 1080i, which is essentially
Exactly,
720p.
which matches the display resolution close. So yeah, no, I do. I still like the BB8. Well, even the V132 is nice. I like that setup too with the stage and what is that, a
Yeah.
55 maybe? Yeah, it's a 55-inch screen or a 65. I don't can't really tell. I
Mm,
think it's a 65.
could be right. I still like that stand. It's a great
Hmm.
idea. I mean,
Yeah, and it's pretty nifty.
it's a bit expensive, but it's not the usual B&O tax expensive.
Hmm.
God, these
It's
sorts of
very
pictures
tight
make
for cable running though.
yeah, these sorts of pictures make me think like, should I like start investing in all this Philips Hue stuff? Like, does my lighting need to be way better? And I'm just gonna spend a fucking fortune on all that shit.
Philips Hue is game changing for as far as the interior. Like even with my house, when I had it in an apartment, man, I really liked it. it's a complete different mood changer. I didn't really go, crazy red and whatever. This was just more or less for the show and shits and giggles.
This should be you, but you're a
I
pussy.
know. No, I was gonna get a big one between my shoulder blades in Copenhagen in 2015 for the 90th. Maybe I'll do something for the 100th. You never know.
Wait, you're not gonna have it like right here?
No, it's gonna be software dear to my heart. But yeah, I've seen that picture. That's very nice.
Oh, this
I
is
wonder
one
if
of the
that guy's gonna.
NFT things, right?
I wonder if he's gonna take advantage of the BLF 5 exchange program now. Did anybody get that email that they're now, giving 15 grand? Well, I guess in Canadian, or 15 grand
No,
off,
it's
or
the same
15
in
grand.
the US, and I've heard of it in Europe
Yeah.
as well. What's all that about? Are they gonna like revamp a classic again, or?
I think they're just running out of chassis for people that want to get it fixed, and then there's people that are just tired of, or even they look at it like 15 G's back is more than what you'd have to invest to them, because you'd have to invest at least, I think, about 8 to 9 G's to get them fixed. So then you sell them for what, 10 to 15 grand at the most. So it's better to just get a set of 50s in my eyes if you're going to buy a new set of speakers. And if you have fives, I'm sure that you have more than those speakers in the house. So then, like, you need something that is of a equal replacement to the environment, right? When it comes to even
No,
the
they're
interface.
essentially. I mean, this is just straight off the bat, but they're gonna mess up the secondhand market with this, because if you want 50s and you can't get a deal you like, and you get a set of fives on the secondhand market for 8, you can get 7 off, effectively. Which is
I don't know. I don't know. I
which
honestly don't know what. I haven't really been given any explanation to why that is happening. But my personal suspicion is that they have ran out of chassis to be fixing.
Yeah, that would make sense, or that they're gonna do a 4000C thing with them because they're so iconic. Or I mean, one doesn't exclude the other necessarily, right? Like you can take all
What
the
do you think?
boards.
They're gonna put Mozart platform in the bloody thing? I don't think
Who
so.
knows? Or I mean, they can make a new board for it if it's a new thing.
Well, but why wouldn't they just make the new board? Like, why would you need all these speakers back then? For what? Like, I'm sure you have all the equipment.
Yeah, for the current repairs, but you can also, I don't know, add more of the room compensation thing to it. You can, I don't know, you can revamp quite a bit of it with just the what would in automotive terms be the chassis, right? Like not necessarily the actual PCB board.
Sorry, I'm making another coffee. I'm trying. But I don't know. I honestly, I don't know what the plan is, or what's behind the scenes of the intent, because to me, I just see it as they're running out of chassis. Because that was the last note in the email. It says that by you training in, you're helping us repair and keep the spirit of VLF 5s, or whatever the heck it was worded like in for B&O.
Interesting. I love this B&O furniture. I wish they still did that as a thing.
Yeah, especially for the theater, that would be nice. But then again, like nowadays, if you think about it, like there's really no sources that you need to hide. Like there is occasional, we have these diehards with the Blu-rays, or fudge. We did a TV last week with a lady wanted a VCR hooked up to it. I'm like, there's not even a socket for this, ma'am. Like this is not happening anymore.
No, you need what you call it,
Well,
it's
like this
changer on a
jack.
changer on a changer with probably some power added in between somewhere.
Of course, and it's boxes. And where do you put that behind the wall? Sorry about the freaking compressor.
You don't.
But
You
where do
put
you
it
put
in
this
some
behind the wall?
B&O cabinets.
So yeah.
I know this one. This is in our intro.
Mm-hmm.
Still a great looking room.
I love that picture. So see, and that's lighting behind the panel. I'm certain of it. There's got to be LED lights behind the panel. That looks sick, man. At least in my onion.
This is why I'm thinking, like, should I go Hue? Because for now, at least, I can't go any larger in terms of panel because it's too ridiculously expensive. And I'm
Hmm.
not getting a TCL or whatever. Like, I'm not ditching LG because the integration is too good.
What's a TCL?
Like a TCL panel, right? A TCL is a TV brand
No,
from China, and they now sell 100-inch TV for like $4,000 or something. And
no, I wouldn't do it.
but the panel is actually quite good. It's not OLED,
Hmm.
but I think it does have a ton of local dimming sections, and people are generally quite impressed by it. But in terms of the B&O realm, I would not do LG because the integration is just too good. But if I want to go 97-inch panel, whichever one, the cheapest is still 22,000, and it's kind of like, that's too much.
Hmm.
Like that's crazy, especially since it's most likely going to die in 5 years. But
Yeah.
to make your panel feel larger, the backlighting, like the Philips Hue sync boxes and that sort of thing, they just extend the feel of your panel quite a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, because they color match, right?
Yeah.
From the HDMI output, which is pretty cool.
And I've been checking into that, and there are some competitors, but most of them lack either CEC or Dolby Vision, which is kind of annoying. So because the competitors are a lot cheaper,
Hmm.
and by a lot cheaper I mean like half price. Uh, but then if you either miss CEC or Dolby Vision, it's kind of annoying because you need to source feed it. You can't use the internal apps. So, but I have an Apple TV, so it's manageable. This is the old
Hmm.
school, you call it, radiator cap, where it would tell you on the car if it's hot or if it's cold or too hot.
It says cool, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
cold. It's cool. Yeah, that definitely is cool. I really like that little Explorer speaker, man. And that Popkin is just a hoot.
bring back these sort of mustaches.
Oh God, no.
Can you imagine what Steve would look like with one of these?
You have to get a Harley. So that's a tour of a factory back in like 50s,
Yeah, the B&O one.
73. Oh my God. Yeah.
Wait, I didn't. Like I said, I'm going to be totally neutral and literally like everything because I have no skin in the game, and I want
No,
whomever wants to know to artwork to succeed because it's a very nice gift.
there's a stage and the A9. Very
And a
nice.
projector, short throw projector. Interesting.
Hmm. Those are pretty cool. What's next? There's more? There's got to be more.
Yeah, there's always more. These are the guys from
That's
Fat Punk
nice.
Studio.
Yeah,
Excellent
that's
theme
nice.
setting in your room, I must say.
Hmm. Yeah, I like the Halo picture with the the shine of the ring. They call it
I
nice.
I know most people shit on the Halo, but I still like it.
I
It's,
want to get it again.
I
I
mean, it's
sold mine. I want to get
expensive.
it.
I understand it, and I understand the comments on it, but I just like it. There's no real good reason for it, but I like it.
They could expand on such more capability on this thing as soon as they would introduce the playlist capability or something that you can browse through. That would make a game changer on this because now it basically becomes an extension of your audio system.
Hmm.
It already is in a way with the B&O radio that you can scroll through. So I don't understand why they cannot implement the playlist and Deezer Flow per se into it.
This
That's an
guy on
old
the
school
screen is
picture.
called Manny Moons.
But yeah, this is that's an old school system. I remember that 740s when they were freaking beautiful.
Oh, the love of my life. Some BLab ones.
Yeah, I got the silver ones for you still.
Yeah, I can't wait. I have enough rooms to fill here that it's never an issue
It
anymore.
won't be an issue. Just get a core for it, or put them in it with a moment. I think that would be a good
Or
plan.
I can get in the guest bedroom. I can get a BV8 or 10 or 11 or under the and I'll sell it to the missus of like, what if they just want to chill at night and not sit with us? What if I just want to chill at night and not
What
sit with
if I
you?
just want to? Oh shit. So yeah, that's a bit clustered, but I think that he just wanted to communicate the fact that he's got the rear channel. So I appreciate him carry over the 8,000s because those bases are heavy as hell.
I think Steve on Discord said in the background this is Mount Fuji in the back.
Yeah, very nice.
To me, it's always interesting to see B&O in Japan. There's just something about it where it it's sort of a it's almost like that fusion cooking kind of deal, right? But in terms of design, because there's something about Japan that is quintessential Japanese, but it somehow works with B&O, and it elevates both.
Yes, I think even Asian decor altogether, like Chinese and or Japanese, the B and O looks in certain colored presentation. It looks very nice, and
Yeah,
it blends in. It fits. It fits with the Scandinavian, Eastern European, North American design, which is more modern per se and less traditional. Or then you go to stuff like here in Montreal, where the houses are 300-400 years old, some of them, and the building materials are just rock, brick, and mortar, and there's modern roof on it now, but it still looks just balls, man. When you have like a raw exposed brick and you have a beautiful sharp ass lines from the B&O's aluminum, just it looks money, man. Even this Eclipse, that's a custom walnut, I think it looks like,
it
or
looks like
smoked oak.
it's hard to tell, but could be both or either.
Hmm.
But it looks
Yeah, that
great.
looks beautiful. The only thing that sucks about that TV is that black floor stand, man. That is just impossible to keep clean. That's the only thing.
I think this one came from Noah.
Which also, now that I'm thinking about it, like if I'm gonna buy that Roborock vacuum, is it gonna be running over my floor stand because it's too low for an obstacle
Who
detection?
knows? Can you get
That's
your hands
just
on all these B&O Christmas trinkets?
no, I have not even acquired, but I'm gonna definitely do that because I would like to.
Koa asks, does the LG panel of the BioVision TVs come pre-calibrated? Well, they all
No,
do to a certain extent. They come
yeah, but not with that
factory
color thing.
calibrated by LG, but not
Yeah,
like
it's not
that.
like that professional calibration that you are asking about. In my
No,
opinion, is what it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but that's slightly impossible anyway because that would depend where you are in the world and what kind of light you're dealing with.
Yes.
Because I mean,
Well,
being
LG is
in
using the ambient light sensor though.
being in the south versus even in the north of America, there's a different hue to the light here than there is in
Of
the
course,
north.
it's much more orange over here.
Yeah. So it's I think the light is nicer here in the south, personally. But I mean, be that as it may, it has an impact on how you see things. I forgot to like yours. Sorry, Noah. Like I said, I'm going to be totally neutral. This is also cool.
Hmm. That's a nice setup. I like that.
Yeah.
I like them all too. Fuck.
This
It's
picture
just
made me really think like us B&O folk all like the same things. All Eames chairs, all the similar sort of cabinets and things. And
yeah, very similar taste for furniture
yeah, and yet
and
it's not all
decor altogether.
identical.
I like the level just discreetly sitting on that shelf, not even very inconspicuous.
I like this whole cabinet thing, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Trudin says it's impossible to find a professional calibrator now after the COVID. I've never really gotten into the calibration of the picture game, but
I mean, you can
it's
try it
just
yourself. You can rent it. If you're in Europe, the Media Mart actually has a service for calibration. Then again, is it needed?
I don't think so, man. I've been looking at B&O displays for well over a decade now. I'm sure there's people that have been for much longer than me.
But
And
so many of the new LG panels are under Delta 3 of color variation, right? Like, I mean, even at Delta 4, can you really tell? Like, you can tell next to each other, right? Like, if one is calibrated perfectly and the other one isn't. But how many TVs in your house do you have where you go like, ooh, that blue is slightly off?
yeah. That's so weird. I don't know. I don't have that issue with my TV. Fuck, it smells pretty good. I like the picture of my LG panel, to be honest with you. I really do. I don't have any issues with it. I got issues with, well, theater rebooting every now and then, but it stopped finally. So that's old school classic. And that too.
Learn.
I'm still debating if I should sell the Beolab 11 and should I buy the little silver shells for it if it's possible still.
I don't. I kind of don't understand what you would need an 11 for.
The
Unless,
looks, bro. The looks.
yeah, okay, then keep it. But if that's the only reason, it's kind of. I mean, unless you're
It's
gonna
not going
move
to help the.
anytime soon, because I don't think it's gonna be any more valuable in a year.
No. This is just something to keep. But I don't think it does much acoustically to improve or to improve the performance of the theater. But I'm gonna put it on and try it again and just play with it now that we figured out what needs to be done uh, with the proper configuration of the crossovers for the theater.
I mean, like also then if you buy the what is it G3, you were saying, Willie, that they auto calibrate to your liking anyway.
Silver is still available. Holy fuck! Yeah.
The G3 panels auto calibrate to your liking with the whole picture slide thing.
Yeah. With an AI picture test,
I
whatever.
mean, then it comes
picture.
down to like, do you need it professionally calibrated? As in, like, how good are your eyes? Can you tell all the different hues of blue and green?
Which I think that the AI calibration makes more sense because it's calibrating towards how you perceive colors in your own brain versus like what the machine sets for. Like these are certified, THX, whatever, blah blah blah. True colors. But if it looks fucking off to you, it's off to you. It's just the
Yeah.
same thing. Like if you wear different somebody's shoes, it's just not the same.
I mean, there is a time and a place for reference anything, right? Like reference screens, reference speakers, all that sort of thing. But I can tell you right now, listening to reference speakers all the time isn't all that fun.
No, that's interesting combo. I've never seen it. Idea of having a Beosound 4 sitting on a floor stand of a TV. That's pretty cool.
I mean,
Anyways,
same
I
for
digress.
reference pictures. Do you want to see the flaws in everything all the time?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I mean, and at some point it's good enough, right? Like, and I understand the spec chasing too a bit because we all do it to a certain extent, but I don't feel you should be obsessive with it because it just drives yourself mad.
I think that the way my personal perspective also on the Bang& Olufsen is the fact that it's an escape. It's a real for me. It's a real escape from the spec hunt.
Yeah.
And going after, oh, this receiver has this and that receiver has that and I can do this many speakers with this receiver and it has 2 zones and blah blah blah. Fuck, man. What if I have 5 zones in the house and I want speakers everywhere? Do I need to run speaker cable everywhere? No, I just buy another B&O product, put it in there, it's links, network, whatever. Yes, maybe Sonos can do the same, but it doesn't look to present itself in a
The
way. It
plastic
looks
box.
it's a plastic box that just screams made in China on it. Like it's not something that is elegant and decent looking. That's a beautiful picture. The 18s are too close, my friend. Maybe
But
just for the photo op, I guess.
yeah, that was it for now.
I love the control pad, the freaking cutting board, more or less, with the fucking Essence remote. Yeah, that's good.
Get
I
your
don't
router
understand
bit
this.
out and
I don't understand the stacker bit underneath it all, but maybe that's just a input as a USB-C into the theater.
go follow Steve if you haven't yet already, and send him stuff and or on here and or on Discord, and win some cool or win a cool prize.
That's right. I have that signature, so I'm good. I have Anders Bolheim signed a book for when I was there for the BeoLab 90s release in 2015. So that's still in the storage locker with I have all the catalogs from 2000
Bloody hell.
till recent.
It's
yeah,
a
it's a
few
lot of paper.
£100 worth of paper.
It's a lot of paper, yeah. It's a lot of paper.
It's also a fire hazard next to your 90s.
I'm more worried about the battery in the Beosound 1 and Beosound Moment than anything else in that locker. Because everything else is safe.
You took your Samsung phone out of the locker?
Yeah, it's in my drawer here.
Oh, okay.
So it'll burn down this instead. Bloody hell.
I mean, the amount of people that looked at their old Samsung phone that they haven't used in a year or two that have become swollen. It's
the battery's pregnant. Yeah. Even this Ulufsen deal here now, it's like the battery's starting to really get pronouncedly swollen. So I think I'm gonna have to change my phone.
I don't know why, but it seems to happen a lot less on iPhones. Or maybe the chassis is stronger and you don't see it. I don't know if.
I think that they just take the cream of the crop as premium goes for the battery technology and availability of the materials.
Yeah.
I think that they just take the top and then, Android kind of sweeps up the bottom of the pit.
So, it's
and
battery,
all the other
it
brands.
Works.
Yeah, and there
You're
you go, right?
supposed to toss it away after 3-4 years anyway, so.
Or we expect you to, right?
Yeah. We want you to.
I still have an iPad from, I think, 2011 in the drawer. It still works. So I'm not complaining.
There's no reason for it not to work, essentially.
Well, it's just the threat of the battery life, right? Or whatever else have you.
I still have a laptop from 2005 and it still works.
I still have the NX90 in my mom's house, but I took the battery out, so it's just plugged in. So I can TeamViewer into it if need be.
Stefan says Samsung is beautiful junk.
Indeed it is. I don't know. I'm not a biggest fan of those frame TVs we put them in, like I said, with that stupid little optical cable power thing going on. A, B, the picture quality is not there compared to LG's. Like the OLED's technology, the black is dark as night, man. Pixels are off. Yes, you can correct when the picture's too dark. Like I forget what I've turned on when it brings up the brightness in the dark spots a little more, so it's more resolvable.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also mad at the streaming services in a way that you're paying for like the 4K stream and you look and it's like 1080p stream coming in. Sometimes it's fucking bullshit. They're cheating.
Is there any place in North America where there's a better shop for viewing TVs? I'm not asking for myself, but I'm buying my mother-in-law a new TV.
So what, like Best Buy, where you go to the wall of the TVs?
I mean, maybe. Just because I'm not that familiar, because I've mostly been a homebody with remodeling and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been to a Best Buy in the last 9 months once, and it was in Madison, Wisconsin. So,
okay.
Like, I don't even know what my local Best Buy here looks like.
No, but that probably would be the best bet. I don't know what else. Like, I don't know what the electronic stores are. Obviously, different names just by the fact that there's different electronic stores in Canada by default compared to Alberta versus Quebec or Montreal or whatever. But Best Buy is more or less commonly everywhere. Like, they don't have London Drugs here, but you can buy TVs as well. And there's a huge wall of TVs of like in London Drugs, but that's Alberta and BC more or less. It's not here.
mean, part of the reason is that she was saying how her TV was okay, and it was an HD ready TV,
Jeez.
and it was like, oh come on, please stop this. like
Yeah, it's
you
you know
literally,
what?
it was so bad you had black bars on the side, right?
Oh
Because
Christ.
it couldn't fill the screen normally if it was 1080i. So it like cropped it into a weirder, smaller square.
Oh yeah, with the wide bars and the
Yeah,
sidebars.
it
Oh
was
no.
bloody horrible. But I said, please ditch that thing or give it to somebody that's into retro gaming because it still had component in and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, but yeah, to get rid of that,
So, but
I would get an LG panel, man.
same, I would love to get her an OLED, but if she, for whatever, like, I don't know her eyes. And that's kind of like, if she prefers, means she's been looking at, for the last 10 years, a shitty LCD. So maybe she prefers that. She does like our TV, but it's also massive, right? Like, her max size is going to be 55-inch.
So that's still big enough.
Yeah, but it's just sort of like, do you prefer that extra light output? Because I mean, she is
But
older
you're
than
in
I am.
America, you can always return it if you don't like it.
Yeah, that's still weird to me. Like that's so strange.
You just no, it doesn't work. Sorry, return it.
I mean, I bought glue the other day for gluing something together, and apparently this glue expands when it sets. So instead of like gluing a crack shut, it just expanded the crack, which is like fuck. Whatever, I'll fix it some other way. And the missus goes, just return the glue. It's like, but I opened it and used it. And she's like, yeah, and?
Take it back.
Huh? Wait, that's possible? Like, return a half-used product? It's like, yeah, it didn't do what you wanted to. That's normal here. Like, I guess.
Okay.
I
It's
feel
true,
weird
man.
about this. This is very strange.
Yeah, but that's the way it is, man. You can just return it if you don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, in Europe you can return stuff, but there needs to be like, I don't
In
like it
package,
is not really
unopened.
a
Yeah,
reason. Like you knew what you were buying. Like it needs to be broken, something wrong with it. Your
yeah.
opinion changing is not generally wrong with it.
It's not a returnable thing.
Are you familiar with the collaboration between BeoLiving and Jira Smart Home? I'm not.
No,
Never heard of Jira Smart Home.
I don't even know what that is. No,
Then again, I'm Dumb Home crowd. Dumb Homes.
Jira Smart Home app. No, I never seen it.
Is if it
I
works with
might download it.
IFTT and that sort of shit, it probably works together.
Oh, visualizes the KNX installation single panel, makes functions available, dimming switch and shutter blinds, valid
I would
transmission
say come
scenes
join their
timer.
Discord and ask that to Christian in
Yeah,
the tab for the smart home and automation, home automation, a home assistant, that sort of thing. IT.
yeah. My home automation kind of went on in a hiatus since I moved to Montreal because I can't really integrate anything into this apartment unit. So that's just where it's at. Plus, I don't really have other than a Wi-Fi connection, anything in this. I can't hardwire shit.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the people that tend to be in the home automation in the Discord thing, they go all out balls to the wall, right? Where to the point it's like, geez,
too
I
deep.
didn't know you could automate this, but apparently.
You can. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to know
Like we're
that I
to the
don't know.
point where like we're gonna put NFC things on everything because like literally taking the record out is too much effort. So you just put it in front of a sensor and it starts.
So yeah, yeah, it's interesting.
Anyway, I'm gonna call it for today because I have stuff to do.
Don't forget, people, send your pictures to Steve.
Yes,
You're gonna win a.
please.
You're gonna win something nice.
I
Definitely a very unique prize, in my opinion.
Yeah, go watch his video too and give that a like. Give us a like if you haven't liked us yet. Go watch Steve's video right now if you missed it. Also, subscribe to John over at Peter Tyson. And see you all next week. Have a good week, everybody.
Bye.